Hey guys, this is Coach Bill again. I had to redo a video that I did about a few minutes ago. And sometimes when you're doing a live Facebook, things happen, and my phone kept ringing, and I couldn't stop it from ringing anyway. So I had to go ahead and I have to redo the video because it's that important for this information to actually come out. And I have to set my clock also. But guys, I just wanted to get on here because some of you, there's a lot of controversy going on in these public gyms about misinformation that the personal trainers are giving out. And I even hear it on some of the groups that I belong to, some of the advice that some of these people are giving these questions on these groups. And so the title of this topic today is pre-workout drinks versus exercising in a fasted state according to science. And what I mean by according to science is what I'm about to tell you here is not from me. It's actual science that can be researched by anybody if you know how to research. And most of these in-home or these public gym personal trainers either have not been in the industry that long, or when they got their certifications, I've looked at a lot of them, and they just don't educate them in the actual physiology of the body and the biochemistry of the body when it comes to how certain foods react to the hormones, and especially how fasting reacts to hormones also. And that's why I wanted to get on here real quick, because there's people out there, there's trainers out there giving bad advice, and you need to know the truth according to science. So first of all, a pre-workout drink, most of those are processed. They're going to cause you to have an insulin spike for a long period of time. And so what they're saying is that by you having a pre-workout drink before you go to the gym, you're actually going to be burning more fat than if you were to work out in a fasted state, guys. And that's absolutely not true. And there's all kinds of science out there on real published clinical sites that actually will tell you that it's better to work out in an exercise or in a fasted state, because you're going to activate certain hormones that are not only going to help you to develop more lean muscle, but it's also going to help you to produce new muscle stem cells, which you need to after you're done exercising in order to get more lean muscle. And we all know that the more lean muscle you add, the more body fat you're going to actually burn off. But if you really think about it, guys, it doesn't make sense when somebody is telling you you need a pre-workout drink before you exercise, and that fasting does not burn more fat than pre-drinks. It doesn't make sense, because when you have a pre-drink, you're going to break your fast. And so there's two energy sources you have. You got glucose from all the carbs you eat, which is the easiest energy source for your body to go after for energy. You're going to be using that while you're exercising. And you also have fat, which is more efficient, but the fat I'm talking about is the stored body fat on your butt, your hips, your belly, or wherever you have your fat. But if you're not eating any food for a certain amount of time, let's say 10 or 12 hours, you're actually going to be burning up the glucose and the glycogen that you had from the night before. So at the 12-hour mark, most likely you've already used up all the glucose. Well, now you're going to start working on using up the glycogen that is stored in your muscle. You go to the gym, you haven't eaten yet, you start exercising, and what happens? You're running out of glycogen in the muscle. So where does the body have to go in order to get energy? This is the no-brainer part. Think about this. The body has to have energy to keep going through your workout, right? Well, where is it going to get it from? You have plenty of stored food in your own stored fat cells. There's plenty of food there. The body is going to dip into your own stored body fat, and it's going to start burning that up. And you know that by doing interval strength training, you're going to be burning that body fat up for 4 to 5 hours. even though you're having a post-drink. That is the most important meal when you're exercising, is after you've worked out. That's when you want to have your post-meal, but it must not be a high sugar, high starchy carb meal. It must be more like a protein with a good source of carbs, like vegetables or something like that. And so when these personal trainers are saying that you have to have a pre-workout drink before you come to the gym, that's not true, because you're not going to even dip into your own stored fat. And besides, when you're working out in a fasted state, you are actually activating your own growth hormones that are going to be elevated through the whole workout. You know how much growth hormones cost if you take shots? And that's what people are doing. Is they're doing it with what they call the easy way, but it's synthetic growth hormones, which has got major side effects. So why not just activate your own natural hormones by fasting? And the scientific name for that environment is known as autophagy. You know that men can actually increase their growth hormones by 2,000%, and women can increase their growth hormones by 1,300% by just doing or exercising in a fasted state and putting themselves into autophagy. All this is backed by science, guys. And so, like I said, it doesn't make sense what they're saying, because we all know that as soon as you have a certain amount or certain calories, or if you eat food, when you wake up, you've broken your fast. That's what breakfast means, breaking the fast. So by working out in the morning in a fasted state, you're putting yourself into one of the most healthiest environments you possibly can put your body, because not only is it activating your muscle building hormones, it's also helping with many disease models. And USC, the University of California, did a research on extended fasting, and how extended fasting actually produced more new immune system stem cells and new muscle stem cells, which you have to have. So guys, I've got 2 minutes left. I just wanted to get on here and set the story straight, that you've got to be careful on the advice you're getting from some of these health professionals and these public gym trainers. And it's really, it's really not their fault. They just have not been educated in the physiology or the biochemistry of the body, and how certain foods react to certain hormones, and how interval strength training. I'm not talking about cardio. Stop doing cardio. If you want to add lean muscle and get more toned, stop doing cardio. Get involved in interval strength training. That's how you're going to do it. And I tell you guys, there's no age limit. Emily and I are well over 60 years old, and we're still going strong. Okay, guys. So I hope this was some good information for you guys. If you want to learn how to actually do research, go to my YouTube channel, Bill Mabry. Subscribe to it. There's a video in there on what real research looks like versus research from Google. You can also go to billmabrycoaching.com, and you can check my website out and click on the free consultation. Let's go over some of your issues. Okay, guys, have a great day. Bye.